Going over day
we're on day
4 and
4.
5 spoilers.
Yes.
Are we doing all in one video or splitting it in two?
No, we'll do 2. The other one should be
Okay.
really short because it's only 6 cards. And
Okay.
this should be. I feel like this will be relatively quick because it's just mostly armor.
Okay,
Which is
so
okay.
just
Welcome back
going
to Card Salad.
over.
Today is day 4 of Monarch spoiler season, and we've got some Runeblade equipment, and maybe there was Brute. There was Brute equipment in there. Yeah. So we are. If you haven't seen our other videos, we are gonna go ahead and rate the. We're gonna discuss the cards a little bit and rate them 1 to 10 based on how we feel the power level is, and then at the end we'll give them an art score because the art in this game is worth looking at. And
I know we're gonna get to him, but can I request her as my Runeblade Shadow instead?
lots of people make custom cards. Like so, it's
I have
become
plenty
like
for Magic.
it's become like a fairly big thing in the Flesh and Blood community to make alternate art cards. I don't know.
I'm gonna get a Metalocalypse chain.
That I would I imagine at some point I will face somebody who's using Nathan Explosion as the image for their chain card.
Make me one right now.
All right,
Well,
so we have first card here. We got Aether Ironweave. It is a common Runeblade chest piece with 1 armor, and action says destroy Aether Ironweave. Keep thinking there's an R there. Destroy Aether Ironweave. Gain 2 resources. Activate this ability only if you have played an attack action card and a non-attack action card this turn. Go again. And it has Battle Worn, so it can block once. And then
I mean, that's
it doesn't even
you
get
have
destroyed.
to do that to activate Viscerai's ability anyway. So
yeah, I mean his entire class is built around doing a non-attack action and an attack action.
yeah,
Like so many cards have that same trigger. So this is just a very synergistic chess piece. This is just straight up a better version of that vest of the first fist, right? This is just an easier vest of the first fist, and it can block 1 time for 1.
Yeah, I guess it beats Heart and Cross Strap because it's the same exact thing as Heart and Cross Strap, but it has a requirement and then it blocks. But Heart and Cross Strap is just break.
But this can be used for more than
you can
an attack action.
No, it's destroy, right?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, the difference is that the resources are usable on anything.
That's a good point. You can even use them for your dagger or your attack or whatever.
And Heart and Cross Strap is, good and played, and so is Vest of the First Fist, and this is just better than that. So
I also like that you can defend with it and it doesn't break.
Yeah, it gets a 9 from me. It's just synergistic. It's straightforward. It's just like you get a good swing turn somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's an 8 though, because if we look at some of the other equipment, something that's like the Archer's Skullbone Cross Wrap is usable through the entire game, right? Every single turn I get to opt, and like that's like high tier armor. That's like, and there's probably chess pieces that are better than this. This is a good inclusion and maybe a budget thing. Yeah, Tunic, if the game goes longer than 6 turns, the Tunic is going to net you more resources over time. I think I do change this to an 8.
Backwards B.
A pregnant 9.
Hard solid score of that.
I'm going to give it an 8 because it is really good, but it is also it's like budget good. There's just like legendary equipment is just going to have much more intense effects, but this is great.
Yeah. I mean, comparing it to chess pieces that we have, which we've already done a little bit, but like Tunic, kind of like Tunic, gives you 2 resources. You just have to meet conditions, just like Tunic. I mean, you just have to wait 3 turns to get a resource. But if you block with Tunic, it breaks and it's gone. You don't got that anymore. This, you block with it, you just can't block with it again. But you can still use its action.
Yeah,
so
I really like that. I like blocking 1 at some point and then still having this.
Yeah, so yeah. I think that's pretty strong. I think I would agree with an 8 on this.
And I'm also gonna give it an 8 because it's good, but the armor slots I think are gonna only get more competitive.
Yeah.
Right. So
This will be edged
it's
out, but
good.
this is always a cheap option. Like you
Yeah,
don't have
that's
to have a
something.
top level deck.
I've got an
Draft,
$11 deck.
very, very good.
That's true. I've got an $11 Runeblade deck, or was $11. Probably is more than $11 now. But that's the kind of thing that could go in that. I just have a Heart and Cross Trap. I mean,
8 cards.
Solid card.
celebrating.
Right. Yeah, very solid card.
Bah, 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 bah.
That's a good start. Don't
Oh
disappoint
yeah,
your start.
I just wanna mention. I was doing editing to put our scores in and stuff, but this just saves me a ton of time. I'm penning it in. So deal with it.
It makes for
Um,
fun. Pregnant eights or pregnant
Yeah.
nines.
Oh, and also mustaches.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I can
Imperative.
show you what any card would look like with a mustache.
Can't wait to see what this next card looks like with the mustache.
I feel like there was something else I was gonna say.
Also,
Can't
I
remember now.
kindly wait for the videos to read any of these cards, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Oh, this will
Except
look
for
great
some
with
of
the
them that you
mustache.
guys are constantly posting them, so I'm like, I gotta look at that.
We have Dread Scythe. It is a Runeblade weapon, majestic. It is 3 base damage. Once per turn action, 3 resources to attack. Whenever you attack with Dread Scythe, deal 1 arcane damage to the defending hero. A hero dealt damage by Dread Scythe can't gain life during their next action phase. So I assume the arcane damage, if it hits them, also activates that, because that was sourced from the Dread Scythe. Let me get
Activates
this.
what?
I'm gonna read a rune
mustache
chant and I'll let you know what I think about
Oh,
it.
active. Okay, yeah.
Whenever you attack, deal 1 damage. So 3 resources for this attack is very expensive to only deal
Yeah, it is.
3 and 1 arcane damage. This is so easily blockable, but mixed damage
Yeah.
is annoying. And you stop healing. I'm not sure how relevant healing is.
You're probably
right
popping
now.
rune chants as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so if you want to do that, then, you're probably getting some magic damage through. Well, then which arcane damage, like, how do you tell which? I guess you say my rune chants are coming first, and then
Yeah,
this?
so
Because if this one ping is going to activate the no heal effect, like, you have to call out which ping that's going to be. I don't know.
And I don't know of anything right now that would be able to boost arcane damage for a weapon, if that's going to be a thing. Because maybe you're attacking for 3, and then you're hitting them for another 3 with arcane damage.
I mean, as well to the other point, if you're blocking arcane damage, you're blocking the Dread Scythe one. Right? There's no reason to block the others over it. So
Unless
if it
you
does
plan
go
on
through,
doing
you're
it all.
blocking.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also just have this be the last thing that you do. You plan out your attack, hoping that they're going to use most of the cards in their hand to defend with. Hopefully they don't have anything in their arsenal, and then you're like, oh, by the way, I have enough resource to swing with my scythe.
It could be difficult if you do send a lot of rune chants and then go again on a regular attack, and they pitch like a card or 2 to block, and also spend arcane barrier to block the rune chants, and then your last action is to swing with this, and then you're like, okay, I got 3 more physical and another ping, and so they'd have to pitch another card to have a resource to block that. So that could be really annoying. And I'm not really sure how the mixed damage is gonna work in the long term, but I could definitely see that being really strong. And plus, someone pointed out swinging with this and getting that 1 arcane damage ping makes Rattlebones live, which I'm still not familiar with the wording on it. What does it do? You can play it as an instant, and it's like play something from your graveyard or something like that. You can play a card. No, you put an attack action and a non-attack action on top of your deck from your graveyard.
Banish target Runeblade attack action card from your graveyard. You may play it this turn.
Yep.
If you've dealt it, you can play it as an instant. If you dealt arcane damage.
Yeah. I'm really not sure how strong that is, because I have no experience with Runeblade, but that sounds really good. I mean, playing something.
It'd be cool if you have a big play available to activate it. I think you're only using this in 2 instances. I think 1, if you've got nothing, and you've got something you need to pitch to get rid of, you're using it. That's, I mean, if it's your only attack to put some pressure, and you're not breaking like 1 or 2 rune chants, or if you have a big play that can get you a lot of rune chants, stack it up and then swing with this to break those rune chants. Maybe to stop someone if you're going to target healing, but I don't see you targeting healing almost ever.
Right now, healing's just not relevant. But I mean, we haven't seen any of the light cards, or like most of them. They could be focused on healing.
So it could be relevant then.
Because the light wizard that's like people are guessing is going to be the next hero, could be like a cleric and be like healing based. It could matter over time. Right now, it's just kind of hard to see where this fits, and there's not really much attack buffs or like weapon buffs for Runeblade right now. I don't know. It's a bit weird and a bit low on damage for the amount of resources it takes, but I think it's more of a combo piece. You know, like we were saying, throw your rune chance and just cause them a headache with blocking that much arcane and plus the physical, and you know, it is low damage, but you do stop healing, which I don't know. I'm like, right now I'm really like a 5. I'm like a 5 on this.
I think with everything else that we've seen, especially for what we were thinking with Shadow Brute, you know, like, man, is some of this stuff really going to be worth playing and whatnot? And then a lot of the cards they introduced afterward, and a lot of things just synergizing well together. I got a good feeling they're going to do something to make this more appealing, more than just what it already is.
Yeah.
I would really hope. Without those cards, I mean, it's still pretty decent, pretty good. But I'd have to put it at like I'm not too familiar with the other weapons, but I would think you would probably use one of the other weapons over this one.
Yeah.
At the moment, so I'd probably give this, probably give it a 7. Just in hopes of them giving it something to make it a little bit better.
I think you're absolutely using one of the other weapons over this.
Currently, yes.
Especially because Reaping Blade, right? Once per turn action, 1 to attack, and if they have more life,
they can't heal anyway.
They can't heal. So,
but this one is like if they're behind, they can't come back health wise, which may like right now is irrelevant. I mean, you've got red sigils, but mostly in Blitz, right? I'm not sure how often it's run in Classic Constructed, but that's like the only healing card I've ever seen is like red sigil.
Just because it was cheap.
Sigil, well, we probably also don't see too many tomes being played because I feel like tome is kind of hard to come by.
That's true.
Yeah.
Fyendal, that tome.
I give it a 4.
The more healing they print, the more this is relevant and like something you want to look at, or if they add in some more synergy. 5.3.
Yeah.
It's got a lot
more
of
options is always more options, and eventually that can mean something, especially with a non-rotating format.
Yeah, for sure, always something to come revisit. Interesting for sure, and mixed damage is always something. Ebonfold. This is a shadow equipment head, so any shadow class. 0 armor. Hasn't other equipment with no armor just said no armor? Like 0, it just doesn't have an armor value?
All mine say 0.
They say 0, okay.
Yeah, they say 0.
Okay, instant. You have to pay a resource to use this instant. Destroy Ebonfold. Banish a card from your hand. If it's a shadow card, draw a card. And it has Spell Void 2, which is Arcane Barrier 2, except you destroy it.
Not that bad. Not great, but not as bad as.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this is actually pack fodder or like a filler card of sorts.
Yeah, it saves you if you only ever need to block 2 arcane damage.
Right, once per game.
It's great.
Block 2.
For free.
But the one thing about the Spell Void is you don't pay for it, right? This is just you just block 2 for free.
If you only need to block 2, it's awesome. Say you need to block 4.
or if you need to block 1 4 times throughout a game.
Yeah.
The instant is interesting, but you have to pay a resource. So, like, if you didn't come across a
Now-
free resource, banish a card if it's a shadow, and it has to be a shadow card to draw the card.
Yeah.
Wait,
Okay.
you could use that to activate things that need a card banished with 6 or more.
Yeah, you could automatically turn.
That would
on
activate at least
certain
Levia.
brute
I don't
stuff.
know. I think all the other things required the cards that they banished to do 6, but this could at least be activated for Levia, and maybe there's cards that say if a card with 6 was banished this turn, 6 attack. So
And
it
it's an
could have its
instant.
niche there.
Yeah. The question is that better than any other helmet that you could put on? What do brutes
mean-
use for a helmet right now? I can't even recall.
I haven't played Brute. I don't know.
I've played against
Arcanite
several brutes,
Skullcap.
but it could be Arcanite Skullcap. Right. I'm like how big of a swing can you really get off of this one time banishing a card? I mean, if we're talking
at
about
least
brute,
for Runeblade, that token could probably save yourself quite a bit of life. Oh, but that would require you to be Levia, so never mind.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
So I have seen stuff. Chain has some things where it's like if you banished a certain kind of card, or if you, I don't know. It seems like it has its uses, but again, this seems like a budget equipment to me. This is like a 6. Like you could definitely pull off some combos.
Going that high with it.
That high. I mean, it's below 7, so it's like you're not really putting it in.
You think
like
this has more potential than the Scythe?
I do, yeah. The Scythe is so expensive to
Controversial.
use. This at least we could find uses for it, right? We were like banish a card that's
True.
exactly 6, or
Yeah.
Chain has cards he wants to banish, and you could banish that and then play it. So like I immediately see uses for it, and Spell Void too in a bad situation. You're just like for free I block 2. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, with this card, yeah, you're looking at banish, being able to draw, and then if you don't want to do either of those, you're blocking 2 arcane damage. I gotta give this thing like a 3.
At that
Ooh.
point, you just bring something with a 2
Yeah.
defense, because there's probably, I guess if you're playing Wizard, maybe not very much attacks are coming through, but
Yeah. I don't know. I like it if they print cards that make it so that way you can get armor back. That this seems like it's all right. I don't know if
it's
you
much
really want
better
to
in that case, yeah.
pour that much resource into just being able to draw a card or potentially block 2 damage. We have yet to see anything like that, so yeah, I'm
I think
sticking with it.
it's got the same potential as the Scythe. I'm going to give it a 4. Which puts it as a 4.3.
Ooh, we got some
Art salad
trash,
score.
trash equipment coming in. The
It's
old
not even equivalent to croutons yet.
CSR.
That's the lettuce.
Not to say that this card doesn't look good. We'll get back to that when we go over art scores.
Shut your mouth.
Galaxy Black. It is a 1 attack Shadow Runeblade weapon, 2-handed sword. Once per turn action, 1 resource to attack. If you have played a card from your banished zone this turn, Galaxy Black gains +2 until end of turn. If Galaxy Black hits a hero, deal 1 arcane damage to that hero.
This is just strictly better than Nebula Blade.
Yeah.
Realistically, instead of making the rune chant, it pops it right when it hits. Nebula Blade has to hit, make a rune chant, then you have to get through with that rune chant later. This also has the ability to get more damage a lot easier. Nebula Blade, you have to play a non-attack action first. And then it becomes a 4, this becomes a 3. This is 1 cheaper than Nebula Blade. Overall, strict upgrade, I think.
And we've seen a lot of, we haven't gone over them yet, but there are a fair amount of cards from Chain that, and Shadow in general, that you can just play them from the Banish Zone. They just play from the Banish Zone.
And plenty of ways to go again as well.
Yeah. So I find it interesting that it says you gain +2 damage until end of turn which would suggest you could swing again and it would still have it. But it's a once per turn action, so you would need like Dorinthia's hero power, which says you could swing with a weapon again if you hit. But we haven't seen a card that allows Chain to do that, and he would be the only one able to use this weapon currently.
Yeah.
I think this is your option for Shadow Runeblade. If you're playing Shadow Runeblade, you're playing this weapon.
So far, I think so. Yeah, it's it's pretty efficient. 3 for 4 for 1, 3, and then if it hits, they have to deal with that extra little pop.
Yeah,
annoying.
First, this is a token too. Like this isn't even.
This is his like base weapon, like your Kodachi and. This
okay.
Isn't like.
That's why that. Okay.
Can you get it cold foil still? Or is that?
I assume doesn't Nebula Blade come in cold foil?
Yeah, but it's like promos.
It's a token.
This will probably be a promo. Yeah. I don't think you can pull them out of the box.
That looks. Yeah.
It's weird because I feel like this is better than the Scythe.
No, it's the best. Absolutely the best.
Yeah.
100%.
Like you're going with the 7. I'm going with an 8.
8. I don't understand the power level of Runeblade, so it could be higher, but as far as I see, it's still very low damage. So I'm at a 7.
So in the realm of all weapons, it's probably around a 7, but in the realm of Runeblade, this is a no-brainer guarantee go in your deck. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Bill does have the most Runeblade knowledge out of all of us, so
what was the score?
I trust that.
8.
Just a flat 8.
Yep.
No, that's around 8.
Not really. Oh, I forgot to give it a mustache.
Oh, that was a 9.
It looks like he's got little arms.
Gorgeous. Little BMO arms.
All right, this is one of my favorite weapons.
That's a weapon.
Hexagore, the Death Hydra. All right, so just look at the puny equipment we've looked at so far, and then look at this thing, and you're like, wow, what the crap?
That is a brute equipment right there. Yeah, that is a brute weapon.
It's also a majestic. So we have a 6
that Scythe was majestic.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what's confusing.
Yeah, we must not have the full context because I mean there is just bad There's bad majestics though.
True.
6 attack, shadow brute weapon, majestic. It's a flail, 2-handed. Wouldn't you usually use one hand? I feel like a lot of the weapons they make 2-handed are actually one-handed because look at this Galaxy Black. This is like a rapier.
Only want you. Yeah, no. Even if it's a big blade, that's a tiny little handle. They want you to only be able to clip one, and they don't.
His handle now. Come on.
Yeah, I feel like they're just, they're just like we gotta balance it so it's a 2-handed, but it's clearly not a 2-handed at all. Well, that's not 2-handed. Anyways, once per turn action, 2 resources, attack. Whenever you attack with Hexagore, it deals damage to you equal to 6 minus the number of cards with Blood Debt in your Banish Zone. So now we know why you would want to fill your Banish Zone with Blood Debt cards as Levia and consistently turn it off every turn. Well, this is one of the reasons, so that you don't have a downside to your 2 for 6 weapon. It's only usable by her currently, and so in the context of that, this is a 9. You're going to use this weapon. You're gonna be putting Blood Debt in your Banish Zone, and you're gonna be turning off Blood Debt with your hero power. So, wait. Hold on. Wait. Whoa. No, that works. No, that works. Yep, it's a 9. So I was thinking of her hero power. It says the cards lose Blood Debt, but it's during your end phase. So they have Blood Debt during the turn, but at that moment when the turn is ending, they don't have Blood Debt, so you don't take the damage, and then Blood Debt comes back. So this you fill your Banish Zone, you swing with this, you don't take damage, you swing 2 for 6, which is just brutally efficient on a weapon. Because you're probably going to be combining this with Go Again, and that's just really, really good.
I mean, you might honestly use the claws instead of this. Maybe.
You can use 2 claws, right?
Yeah.
I'm not.
And they
I
have, if
can't-
you discard a guard with 6 attack, they're 6 for 2.
You get to switch. Do they have like go again or something? If you did that, what do they read?
Oh yeah, it gains go again, and if you it doesn't gain 3. It gains go again if you discard a card with 6 or more. So it's 2 for 3. Gains go again if you discard a card with 6 or more during your turn.
Okay. How much?
I don't
do
know
they
that you
cost
would. This
each?
is still really good. It's 2.
They each cost 2 or one cost 2.
They each cost 2.
So you have to pay 4
Yeah.
for 6.
It just doesn't have the downside, so it could have its place in Livia, but I do think Hexacore is better.
Scores.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
8.
I'm
Stop giving things 8s.
gonna give it a 9 too.
I gave something a 9 earlier.
I mean, just
8.6.
everyone, so I don't have to draw 8s or periods. Apparently, oh my god. 8.6 Hexagore the Death Hydra with a mustache or little arms.
You could put the mustache on the little skulls.
It needs a lot of mustaches. Heep, heep. Oh, that one's facing away. Moving on, we have Hooves of the Shadow Beast, a common Shadow Brute leg equipment. It can block for 1 armor, and it will get a -1 counter if you defend. It's battle worn. Whenever a card with 6 or more attack is put into your banish zone, you may destroy Hooves of the Shadow Beast. If you do, gain 1 action point. So again, so that's very good. Clearly, you can, like we were talking about in our original discussions of Brute and Shadow Brute, if you could swing multiple times with some of those giant cards that didn't have go again, like you could make some insane plays where you swing for like 20 plus damage in a turn. And this can easily enable that. Again, the question is there going to be majestic or legendary legs that are just better? Because I believe the scab skin scalers or the scab things, right? Are those boots that Brute currently uses yeah, you roll a die, and if you get you get action points equal to half of whatever you roll, which are obviously very risky. But if you land a 6 or even a 5 or 4, you get 2 action points. That's crazy. But this is like basically with the condition of putting a 6 or more attack in your banish zone, you're almost guaranteed whenever you want, just because the whole deck is going to function around doing that. You could miss on some turns that you really wanted to do it, but it's very unlikely. So this is just consistency. Consistently, when you want to have an extra action point to swing with 2 big things, you have that. So this is going to take a lot of testing, though, to figure out if this is better than having the scab things or maybe some other new leg that they come out with. But as far as the effect, I'll give it an 8. I mean, we already gave a lot of reasons why you'd want to go again in this class.
Don't know why he gave it an 8. He said we can't do that anymore. I'm giving it a 7.
7.
I just think the scab skin. I think they're just clearly better. Even if you are rolling and not getting an action point, you get to do it every turn. So.
Tony Bravo. I give it a 7 as well.
Oh, I remember
7.6.
I remember what I was going to say earlier. Sorry for the blurry cards. Legend Story Studios is taking forever to post the high def cards to the card gallery. So I've had to cut these out of wherever they were revealed, and they're all different sizes and they're all different resolutions, and it's a nightmare. So decent legs there, according to Card Salad. Ooh, very good looking card. We got Memorial Ground. 0 cost. Common. Put target attack action card with 2 or less from your graveyard on top of your deck. It's a generic instant. Cannot defend or attack. It's an instant, obviously. So there is yellow and blue versions of this, and it does a 1 or... Wait, is there? Or am I thinking of another card? There is no, it's only red, right?
I have no clue.
Oh.
That'd be a weird.
It would be
Aetherize.
a card with 1 or less, or a card with 0 or less from your
Destroy it.
graveyard, if there was other colors. I'm just gonna pull up the website real quick.
I think that's just plain and simple a good card.
I think I agree. Why don't you tell us what you think?
I mean, that's it's never a dead card in hand, almost. I mean, the very first turn, maybe second turn, but you can play that after you've done your whole turn, whether you had a big attack, and put that right back on top to bring another one out. That's, I mean, all there really is to it. It's clearly an Overwatch map, but I can look past that.
I can just say that I would probably be running this in my wizard deck.
Do you use attack action cards?
You
Oh, wait.
don't really use
Oh, it's only attack
actions.
action. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's the
I thought it was
opposite
just
of where
action.
you
I thought it
use
was action cards. I was like, I would just
If
take.
it was action cards, that's a must include.
Yeah.
in like every
Um,
deck. Just
Now that I
reuse your
read
most
this more
important.
carefully, I would not put this in my wizard deck.
Okay, we do have yellow and blue versions, and it is
Still very
put
good.
attack action card with 1 or 0 respectively.
I don't know
Who
how much
knows?
use those ones will get, but
Maybe
I think
with
this
a
one
light
could be used.
wizard, it will
Here's
change.
So this was the card. Here's the card that the person said Ranger players are going to like a lot. And I agree, and it's not a Ranger card, unfortunately, but this does make Ranger very, very consistent. I will take 3 reds in my Ranger deck. I will take 3 yellows in my Ranger deck. I may even take blues in my Ranger deck. There are 0 cost arrows. The thing with this card with Ranger is just pick an arrow from your graveyard and put it on top of your deck. Azalea is live, and you know exactly what card that is. As soon as you have blocked or fired one of your big important arrows, if you have like 6 to 9 of these in your deck, you've got that live all game. Like Remorseless, you could fire over and over and over again with Dominate. You could fire Sleep Dart, or what is it? Is it Sleep? I think it's Sleep Dart. It's the sleeping arrow. You turn off hero abilities, which is really good against the new heroes so far. Well, Chain, not really, because those tokens stay in play and he's banished. Well, he can't use Go Again, so that is still really good. And the Shadow Brute lady, she can't turn off Blood Debt that turn if you Sleep Dart her.
Mm-hmm.
So if I use Knock the Death Whistle and pull out, just instantly dig into my deck, pull out the red Sleep Dart and fire it at her, even if it doesn't have Dominate, it doesn't matter. Once it's in the graveyard, all I got to do is pull a Memorial Ground, either a red or a yellow one, and I put Sleep Dart on top of my deck as often as I can, dominate it and fire it at her, and try to turn off that turn off her ability as much as possible. The consistency that this gives Archer is insanity. And also, like, probably Ninja, too. Any of the aggro classes, to be honest, also highly benefit from this, which is a little terrifying.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean,
Banned
the
immediately.
way Azalea uses it, though, I didn't even think about that. That's...
I think hers is the most broken case. This is made for her. Because you can use it immediately. Any other class would just like prep their next turn. They'd be like, I want to use that attack again because that's like the best card, my best attacking card or something. So for her, it's like totally nuts. Instant include at least 6 of them. The blue one's a little iffy because like there's only a few 0 cost arrows, but it could be really good. And she doesn't really have blues in her deck, and it would really help sometimes to have that extra resource. But in any case,
you guys have been very adamant against yellow. But there's a card that has a good yellow.
There are very few
Yeah.
cards that have good yellows, and this is certainly one of them. A 1 or less attack is still very good. We've also seen plenty of the shadow cards that have 1 or less attack that you wouldn't mind using again.
Or cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this isn't I'm going to give it a 9 because it's not available. If this is not good in every class. This is very, very good in some classes, but not good. Really, it's very slow and low tempo in other classes.
I give it a 10. I honestly think it'll make Azalea rise even more to the top.
You say
And the
even
power
more
to make
like she's...
Well, so rise, but
Yeah.
I think she's going to be going up now that the Classic Constructed is becoming a more popular format.
Yeah. I think this is a god tier card for her to be.
I think that
honest.
the amount of moves that card is going to make for Azalea to rise in the ranks, it makes it busted.
It might, yeah. If it did make her that good and consistent, she could be like the top class, and I would agree that it's like a level 10 card, just because of like it single-handedly catapulting a bad archetype to the top.
And I think it might. She lacks consistency. That brings it.
Right. Sometimes you have to YOLO for a dominated arrow. This is just guaranteed. Any arrow in so once you've like gone through a little bit of the game, you have access to any arrow you want at all times. With dominate.
This card only gets better the longer the game goes on.
Yeah, and you can guarantee dominate on whatever arrow you've already discarded. So crazy.
I'm just trying to think about other classes.
We don't need to think. Fuck other classes. Archer is the only class. I'm not familiar enough with other classes to.
I'm giving it an 8. Definitely a very, very, very good card, but I feel like if it's only going to be good in Ranger, then people are going to end. I mean, Aetherize exists. Rangers going up against Wizards.
Art Salad 9. Somehow the average went to the lowest score.
Well, I was looking at this as in the middle, and I was like, yeah, the 9 and the 10 cancel out because they in the middle.
I mean, it's kind of like the thing. Justin, could you say that any class cards in Hearthstone are some of the most broken cards?
Are they usually generic? I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, there are certain classes that are always on the top. And it's usually... I'm trying to think of some of the most broken things. They're usually generics that just fit with a certain class more. Like when Odd and Even was out of control and Odd Paladin was just broken to hell. But that was just because like his hero power that he got from... It was the generic card that turned any hero as long as you had Odd or Even cards. His hero power would turn into like summon 2 dudes. And then he also had a really great curve with other odd cards. So it was like, it wasn't a card for him. It just happened to work best with him. But there are like usually hunters at the top because he's got direct damage cards. But it's not like, it's never like one card. I guess, what was that one that summoned all 3 of the beasts? Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild.
Yeah, it was like a 9 mana card. And it was like an 8 or 9 mana card. I think they nerfed it at some point, but that was a 10 class card. That was like that was a game ender. You're just like, after already being beaten by Face Hunter, that was just like too much stats in one card to handle. So that would be like a 10.
Okay, so maybe being a 1 class kind of trick show, it's not that great, but I think I'm gonna stick with a 10.
You also can't defend with it.
That's never important in my mind. I'm holding all my cards all the time. No defense.
Yeah,
opposite
and
of Twilight Imperium.
I mean, we're this stoked on the card, and we only talked about one class because it's very obvious how good it is in that class. But I'm sure there are other applications. Any class that wants to consistently use the best attack in their deck will run a few, maybe even just the red ones, to put that important attack every now and then back on top of their deck, just to keep pressure on. So like think
Like if
about
I've got
Guardian with like Crippling Crush or whatever crazy attacks he uses that just totally decimate you.
if I've got 9 rune chance and nothing to play, I might just use this on at the end of my turn to pull a 9th Blade of the Blood Oath out of my discard and put on top. Then I'm popping for 18 next turn with
And
nothing
then,
else.
Yeah, you could guarantee that you're going to pull that play off.
So it has its big play help.
Yeah, it has very good consistency.
Never mind, 9th Blade of the Blood Oath costs 9. What?
Oh, that's
that
right,
wouldn't work.
That's Wait, is it retroactive though? Like, or is it dynamic? If it's wherever it is, like again, wherever it is in your deck.
I guess it depends on how they're ruling, because it says it costs 0 less, or it costs 1 less for each rune chant you control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the
so
thing
I
looks
would
like
think,
a 0.
I would think if you have 9 rune chants or 8 or 7, you could use Memorial Ground Red on it if in your graveyard, because it would cost 2. I don't know.
Yeah, that's important to know.
Yep, that's
Oh boy,
be some
the
interesting
meat
stuff.
axe.
Yes, this is the worst quality one I have. Ravenous Meat Axe. 3. Be careful when you say that too quickly. You might say meat ass. It's just very
That's
close.
my job.
It's meat. This is the old Ravenous Meat Ass.
That's my job.
You guys don't want to know what he does for a job.
Yeah. What?
I'm the meat assistant manager.
Ah, so on your tax form, it's like meat ass.
Yeah.
Just a 3 attack.
We call me ass meat man.
Can a customer is like got a complaint? Can I see your ass meat man? 3 attack brute weapon, 2-handed, like most weapons. Token?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That
so.
didn't help.
Well, I can't see it now. Yeah, it's a token.
I think it's a token, yeah. Once per turn, action, 2 resources to attack. Whenever you attack with Ravenous Meat Axe, draw a card, then discard a random card. If a card with 6 or more attack was discarded this way, it gains +2 until the end of turn. 2 for 5.
I don't think it's good enough because club can use pummel. This can't use pummel. Claws are just a little more consistent and less
Does
random.
pummel not include? What does it include?
It is
Blunt?
club or hammer attack,
Club
I
or
believe. Let me pull mine out, but I believe it's club or hammer.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure why you would take this over literally any other weapon that Brute has.
Yeah.
Unless the discarding an attack with 6 or more is triggering something for you and you didn't have to play another card for it, but this doesn't have go again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's club or hammer on pummel.
Again, I'm like pretty unfamiliar with Brute, but this just seems like the worst weapon you have to choose from. I'm going to give it a 3.
I agree.
Yeah, 3 sounds about right.
Hell yeah, that's easy math.
Sorry, Ravenous Meat Axe, you're a wonderful card.
Yeah, we might be missing something, but it really just seems inefficient compared. Brute, we just saw, has 6 damage for 1. And you could easily give it go. This is like, I don't know, man.
And as we talked about, it loses you life, but your life is a resource. So, you know, the flag.
Oh, yeah, the other one, yeah.
You put a token on here, huh?
It was technically a card that was revealed. It was actually on the list of revealed cards on their website. So they gave, it's funny, they gave this to somebody to reveal, but then they also gave Chain to someone to reveal and gave them the token with it. So whoever got to reveal this was like, oh, I get a token, and someone else already revealed it. Soul Shackle. This is the Shadow Runeblade token. It's an aura. It's just there forever. So far, we haven't seen a way to destroy Soul Shackles. At the beginning of your action phase, banish the top card of your deck.
I don't know how good this card is, but it's awesome, and I love everything about it.
So
does Ellie.
What's important to note? Do we have Chain? No, Chain is technically in the next day. Wait, is he?
Yeah.
Let me just double check my day 5 cards. Wait, I don't have chain in here. I think maybe he was supposed to be in this batch.
I thought I saw him.
Oh, we've seen a lot of them. We're poking a lot of fun.
I'll just pull him up real quick and I don't know. We'll include him in the next video, but for context, we'll put this meth head on screen. So he has once per turn action, create a soul shackle token. Your next Runeblade or Shadow action this turn gains go again. So that's not attack action specifically, just any action that's a Runeblade or Shadow. Gains go again, and this has go again, or his ability. It doesn't cost anything, but it does generate a soul shackle, which stacks. So every turn, if you use it every turn to gain free go again, you know,
You're gonna be having a lot of fun.
You are gonna be. It's extremely aggressive, right? You are milling your deck at an exponential rate, or I guess it would be linear.
Well, that last card that we looked at, instant, you just put one from your graveyard on top. Make sure to banish it.
What?
Yes.
The Remembrance card?
Remembrance. Yeah, that puts 3 from your banish into your
Or not,
deck, right?
not Remembrance, sorry. Whatever that, the one that you think is so good for Archer.
That's your discard, or your graveyard.
Yeah, it puts it on top of your deck.
Okay. You used a card up to gain 1 more card in your deck?
Yeah, to make sure that you're milling the right one. If you needed a specific card to enter the banish zone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a use. I don't know. That seems really low tempo though. When I feel like that you're hitting the gas on your deck disappearing. I feel like you're you want to attack as much as possible. Like you need to go as big as possible with your turns. And that might work out, but I feel like you're just going to naturally banish copies of whatever it is you want in there.
What if you played 5 Blood Debt cards? You need 1 more to pull off Eclipse. And you have that, whatever, I don't even remember the name of that card. You just use that to put a thing on top of your deck. You're able to activate your ability. You pop that in there, and then you use that last Blood Debt card. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Well, it wouldn't happen until the beginning of your next turn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying. I don't know if that's good enough, but it is something you can do. This is literally like, I mean, very powerful. Give your stuff go again for free. No, like literally for free. No pitching anything. No using another card. You just go. You can guarantee 2 attacks per turn, or actions or whatever. But man, are you quickly milling your entire deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you used it, there was a guy doing some math from Fab Foundry. I don't remember the math. He was basically like, if you use it every turn on the first 5 turns, you've burned basically half your deck. So this is like a pedal to the metal kind of hero, I guess. Very extremely aggressive. Like you're definitely not building up tons of rune chance for like an Oko. You're attacking multiple times every turn, or
you can pop read the runes. You can pop 2 read the runes, which gives you 6 rune chance.
It's not bad. So we also have seen cards that are playable from just straight up playable from the banish zone. They're meant to go there because they made cards so that he doesn't just mill every playable card. Right, you still have cards to work with from your banish zone, so that you are moving towards that end of the line kind of thing. But you also get basically 5 card hands every turn because you can always attack with stuff from your banish zone. So lots of options once you do get those cards in there, and this is definitely a very aggressive class. Or I guess it doesn't have to be. You could also very meticulously plan out, like, I'm only going to use my hero power like twice this game, but it's going to be on very pivotal turns where I need an extra action point for a very important combo. You could use it like that, but I really feel like this is a very aggressive game plan.
I mean, I wish I could have that ability with Wizard. Sometimes having an extra action point is just really nice.
Yep.
So
having one less card in your deck.
I don't know exactly how we're gonna grade this card because it's
it's
technically
basically
part
like grading
of-
his hero power. Yeah, I guess we don't give this like a. Well, since it's like only negative, it's burning your deck. This is like a -8, I guess. I don't know.
It's a 10 for sure. I'm burning my deck.
Bill really likes milling himself.
I love milling myself. I have lost in many draft games by milling myself in multiple card games.
Yeah, so this one doesn't really get a rating. It was just in here to kind of get the discussion going on chain. Also, it just kind of gives context for these other Runeblade cards. Vexing Malice, 1 cost.
5.
1 cost for 5. 1 cost, 3 damage, rare, Runeblade attack action. It can block for 3. Deal 2 arcane damage to the target hero. I don't know what the other colors do.
That's just a good card.
It is very efficient in its mixed damage, so it's very annoying to block if you want to. You're definitely making
The other
them
versions
think.
have to be the damage.
What is this border here?
That's Runeblade board. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, that's what's on all the Runeblade cards.
Oh, but the hero himself has like the diamondy border because he's from that one place. Okay, so this is the class border.
It's a Runeblade.
I mean, yeah, 1 for 5 sounds pretty good. I don't know. 9? You put this in your Runeblade decks?
I think so. I don't see myself not putting it in there. Yeah, 9.
I shall too give it a 9.
It's a very straightforward, just raw efficiency card.
Yeah, not hard to judge at all. I don't think it's borked, but it's good.
9, and I think that's it. Yep, that's the last card.
All right, down to the arts.
Yeah. Oh man, this one's. It's great thematically. I could use a little more color. I don't know. This is a 9.
Makes me think of Reaper Death Seal from Naruto.
Yeah.
A
But
little bit.
I don't know. Bunch of bald dudes touching another dude holding up a sword to demon.
Another dude.
There's a lot of dudes.
Yeah, there's a lot of dudes in here. 7. No moon. So
I think I'm also gonna give it 7. I'm not big into it. Oh man, it just went up.
oh baby, it's got a moon.
7.6.
Also, there's no mustaches. I don't get it. Oh, there we go. I'm liking this card more and more.
7.6. The Soul Shackle. I give.
I would
10.
like to question why Viscera being shackled.
I'm not sure if is it for sure Viscera.
He has the same mask. It's not all the same armor, and he doesn't have the robe that Viscera has, but he has the same mask.
I wonder if Rune Blades are just
They all have the same armor.
very similar.
Could be.
They're from the same area. God, what?
Area.
God.
I'm gonna give that a 10 too. That's a sick art.
It is a sick art for a token. It's like there's
Yeah.
a lot going on. It's super cool. Look at this giant sword here. Why isn't that one of the Runeblade weapons?
That's
Yeah.
sort of sweet.
Or
Like,
is that what's chaining?
Well,
him?
have
So
you
many
seen
arts
them
I wanna
all?
play
They
that.
all just got done off of a heavy dose of something. Look at Viscera. He
I
just
can't.
is.
Oh,
He just is cracked out.
he's being
It's
consumed
fine.
by
That's normal.
rune blade shit. It's pretty blurry, but I think it's really cool. It's just kind of
Yeah, it's a great card.
the weapons are. I just don't. I never like how the weapons are just sitting there, like floating there. Like there's like the Centauri saber,
Like a video
and it's
game.
like hitting the game, and it's hitting the ground, and it's just kind of like who's doing this? I don't know, but the axe looks dope. It's like you can see it's like it's got like a bone handle down here, or like a hilt, or just whatever the very bottom part is called. I can't tell what this is made out of. It's too blurry, but yeah, that's really cool. I'll give it a 10.
Isn't that a 10?
Yeah, it's really look at it. It's got a lot of stuff going on. Lots of little bones sticking out, and it's cool.
Giving that baby a 6. Wanna know why? They're lying to us. That axe is not made of meat. That is clearly not a meat axe. That is a bone axe.
You know, I use steak knives at work, and you know what, Mitch? They are
Those are
not
all
made out of steak.
Oh, contraire. I bet you're lying to me right now.
I give it an 8. Average of 8.
No more 8s.
There's also no meat in that picture either. They're
There's
just
probably meat.
bloody
in here.
bones.
Yeah, that's meat.
So much lying. I don't like it.
I love this one too. I give it a 10. It's very, I don't know, it's gorgeous. It is just like a courtyard, or like a little thing, but I don't know, the detail is fantastic.
Let me just load into Hanamura and take a screenshot real quick.
Give that baby an 8.
I'll give it an 8 as well.
For an
For an
average of
8.6.
8.
It's very pretty, but not pretty enough. Uh-oh.
Didn't get a 10. Hooves of the Shadow Beast. The hooves are very cool. I don't know what the hell's going on up here though.
He's leaning down on his knees.
Oh, yeah, I see what that's going. Yeah.
It's their satyr legs, so.
Yeah.
Huh? Lean. I'm not seeing it. I don't know. 8. These are very
7.
cool though. The legs are super cool.
I bet you it'll look really nice cold foil.
8.
I just wish there was more of the legs. There's like too much of this guy, whoever this
Someone's
is,
a leg man.
hanging down.
7.3. Sorry, 7.6.
Saved. Hexagore. Oh, this baby gets a 10.
Yeah, 10. Bill?
You guys went through that one fast. 10.
Just fill in the air time.
Sorry, slow down a little bit.
I think that this one's just obviously it's just too cool.
I was trying to protect my little table here from gremlin attack.
I gotta give this one a 10 too.
Yeah, this is
Agreed. I like that
so
one.
cool looking. 10.
And also I give it a 10 for the name with the 2 X's
Mhm.
thrown in there. Galaxy Black.
Blake.
Ebb and Fold. I give it a 10.
10.
Yeah, 10. I
Can't-
think that Runeblade art is just great.
Can't
man.
wait for the cold foil of
Oh, that's
this.
a shadow art.
Yeah, I'll be picking up some of them.
Dude, go throw out the offer right now. 75
He's
bucks.
saying this about cold foils a lot.
They're gonna look good, or he's gonna buy them. This is a little. This one's just kind of. This one's literally just floating there. Like at least some of these other ones had like, I don't know, better backgrounds. This is just like what? It's like you're playing Devil May Cry and you just earned a new weapon after a church battle. That's exactly what this looks like. It's a really cool scythe though. I'll give it an 8.
Giving this bad boy a 9. I feel like there's something else they could have done with it,
8.
but
It could be cleaving someone. I don't know.
yeah.
Good enough. 8 point. Who knows?
Somewhere between 8 and 9. This is the chess piece, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool chess piece, but oh, was that a skull there?
Yeah, skull on the belly too.
Yeah, that's an 8. It's pretty good.
8 as well. Like the purple.
8.
Do you get the cloak with the chess piece, or?
Sure. Package deal.
All right, and that's going to wrap up day 4 spoiler cards. Thank you for watching. Give us a like if you like the video. Let us know how you feel down below, and give us your thoughts on the cards. Because we are getting into territory we're not super familiar with. Yeah, we will see you shortly for day 5.
Yep.
All right, see you later.
Bye.